Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the ARCA members meeting. Today, we are privileged to have our president, Ron Fritsch, talk about the California QSO party that's going to happen next weekend. But before that, why don't I let Ron do the welcome and introductions.
All right, I'm turning volume up around here. I'm running into the audio of my ham station here, and so got so many things on the audio that the volume is weak, but there we go. Now let me make a gallery on the screen here. Well, what I wanted. Oh, I see, because you have the screen shared. So okay, I'll just do it that way, no problem. So welcome, fellow ARCA members. This is another monthly club meeting. Like my Alameda tongue twisters, we don't miss a meeting. No matter what we have planned, the fourth Saturday of every month is always an ARCA meeting. It's my motto for Toastmasters. If it's Tuesday, it must be Toastmasters. Well, if it's fourth Saturday, it must be ARCA. So here we are this morning. Let's take a look at who we got here this morning and have people introduce themselves. We all know, but it's a good habit to get into. I'm just going to go from the top to the bottom of my screen here. Donna, you're the first person on the top. Tell us who you are in case we don't already know.
Hey, my name is Donna Fong. I am the secretary of ARCA, and I've been doing that for the duration of this year. And I am KM6QEK, and I've had that license since 2017. And I work as an application scientist in biotechnology. And I got into ARCA because I wanted to have a HEM license to supplement my volunteerism for the Alameda cert.
All right. Am I hearing somebody's radio? Am I the only one hearing that?
I can hear something, yeah, too.
Yeah, I'm hearing what sounds like background noise from a ham radio.
I'll mute myself.
Oh,
Well, whatever, that just did it. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to introduce Bruce. We have an empty room, so I'll go on down to Richard first. Richard?
yes, Richard, my call sign is KG6DRB, and I'm a technician class ham radio operator. I've had a license for probably over 20 years as a technician, and recently I've been studying for my general class license. Dan Adar, one of the other members, lent me his manual for the general class license, and so I've been studying that, and hopefully
Right on. I remember when you and him had that conversation about getting the manual. I'm glad that you got it.
Yeah, thanks to him, I've been studying away.
Right on. Well, success. I have no doubt you'll make it. Michael John, tell us who you are, although we already know.
Can you hear me?
Oh, we can hear you fine.
Yes.
Okay. I am Michael John Torrey. My call sign is KF6YRG. And I've been a ham radio since 1999 and a member of ARCA for 23 years. And I've always loved amateur radio since I was a young lad. I'm also studying for my general. I'm a technician, and for your information, if you click on the YouTube sometime, you'll find that YouTube, they're doing a ham cram on YouTube for people who want to be amateur radio operators. They're doing the technician class and the general class and advanced class on YouTube.
Oh,
I
okay.
just see it come up with it. So yeah, so
Good to know.
is what I do. Yeah.
That's good information. Thank you. And can, excuse me, success to you on passing the exam. And of course, last but not least is Rose. Good morning.
Good morning. Still fighting with my computer. Rose K6LEZ. Thank you, Richard and Michael John, because I'm also like a 10-year technician, or 12 years at this point, I think, technician. So I'm glad to know other people are in the same boat. I need to study for my general too.
Right on. Well, very good. And success to you. We're going to have a bunch of new generals here very quick. And now that the room has been filled, Bruce, tell us who you are. And Dan just made it. Welcome, Dan. But Bruce, let's give it to you for a minute.
Good morning. This is KI6 CYT, Kilo India 6, Charlie Yankee Tango. The handle is Bruce. And I have been inactive for a year, but I still pay my dues on the AAAR, RRL, whatever it is. And I'm delighted when I hear from somebody from Alameda. So recently with Rose and somebody else recently. Oh, Donna. Forget Donna. And so pleasure to be listening to your meeting this morning. And I'll turn it back to Ron.
All right. Well, we're welcome to have you. It's kind of like the old days, except we're now doing it on computer.
You look younger.
And, well, the camera, the high-res camera either makes me look great or it makes me look horrible. So I'm glad you think I don't look horrible. All right. Well, Dan, welcome.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to be here. Got sidetracked earlier.
Okay.
Are we introducing? I just
We're introducing ourselves. We don't know who you are, so you need to tell us.
Okay, well, I'm Dan, the treasurer. And I think I've mentioned before, sort of, my current activities now, I'm, getting into HF and, kind of working with Roger and kind of learning the ins and outs, kind of getting a little Invis set up and have all kinds of antenna problems and pulling my hair out. But it's been fun, kind of working in a townhouse, doing a 70-foot antenna from one end diagonally across to the other, and making sure the HOA is happy at the same time has been a challenge, but it's fun, doing good, learning stuff.
Well, very good. Is Roger back from his trip, or are you still doing nightly CW things?
Well, we do daily CW now. Now that he is back, unfortunately, he got COVID while he was up there. Unfortunately, it's a family gathering, so he was kind of out for a week or so. But he is back and he's feeling better. And yeah, we get together pretty much every morning at 9:30, and we do a little short rag chew on 40 meters using a ground wave, and that's been a good chance for us to both get some practical experience, which has been nice. And I highly recommend it. We could set up a little 40-meter net on ground wave on CW or whatever. But again, I'm still trying to get the SSB working and having sort of ongoing problems, but that's all part of the process.
Okay, well, very good. Glad to hear Roger's back. And one of the best ways to pick up your code speed is literally just to get on the air, rag chew away, and go for it. I'll have to if I can go into the office late one morning from here, I can maybe look for you guys on 40 meters at 9:30. You would be loud enough. I think I would hear you pretty well.
Well,
Well,
we
all
use,
right. I'm Ron, Club President, WQ6X. I'm not going to tell you the year I was first licensed. That's not fair, but I will tell you that I've been licensed since I was a freshman in high school. So you figure out what year that was.
17.
It just so happens last weekend was my class's class reunion. I won't tell you what number that was, but you can deduce it. And I bemoaned the fact that the high school club station at Livermore High School used to be WA6 United Quebec X-ray, kind of what seems like where my call came from a little bit. And they long ago let their license expire, and somebody decided that the 3-element TA-33 Junior Yagi on top of the building needed to go. It's like, what are people thinking? Young people, how are they going to find out about amateur radio if we don't keep it going for them? So that's my rant this morning. And so now let me turn it back to Donna. And Donna, help us take care of the business.
Thank you, Ron. So Jerry normally tries to fill the net control operator schedule at this point. We have only 2 more openings for December, for the rest of the year, which is December 8th and December 15th. So if anybody is interested in running net control on either of those 2 days, please let me know. And as most of you know, there was an award presentation given to Al Sweet and to Bruce Gillis, who is online. There is a photo, if you haven't gone to our website. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Yeah, this is our website. And I was just barely competent enough to change the front page photo. And this is a very nice picture that Bruce sent to us of him. And is that United? What is UCS? Is that
Santa Cruz.
UC Santa Cruz? Is that your alma mater?
Santa Cruz, but who knows what its nickname is?
Slugs? Banana slugs?
Slugs.
The nickname. It's the something worm.
Banana slugs.
Banana
John
slug. Good
Travolta
for you.
made famous, yes. And there's your award, which is wonderful.
My
And then here's another picture of all of us actually presenting the award to Al Sweet on September 2nd. And this is a very nice close-up of what Al's award looks like. And yours is probably very similar, but with your name on it.
I'd like to validate Rose for really doing most of the work on making this happen. Well done, Rose. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It means a lot to the club, but more importantly, I think you made Al Sweet cry just a little bit. And that's a good thing.
That is good.
I'm working one on it.
So I'll let Ron talk about the California QSO party and him looking for our location in a few minutes. Just as a reminder, Rose is running net control on Mondays at noon. So feel free to call in. And if she can't do it, Al is the alternate. It's considered an informal net. It's a nice time to chat for probably half an hour or so. And then next month, Jim Wright will be speaking, and he'll be talking about the Motorola repeater. And he's going to be transferring the materials to me. It's meant to be a backup repeater. So he'll go over that. I'm sure it's going to be really interesting. He talked about it a few years ago, and I found it fascinating. So I guess that's it for in terms of business. Ron, you want to take it over?
All right. Now we got people again. Cool. Well, where do we go? How do I fire this thing up? I just heard a beep. Okay. So how do I fire this thing up? Well, as you may know, I am an avid contester. In fact, let me see if I can point the screen. If you look carefully, you can see this is my portable setup here in Concord. And this weekend is the CQ Worldwide RTTY Contest. So if you know how to do RTTY, all 40 zones of the world are allegedly on the radio this weekend. I've got 48 contacts so far, nothing big. I decided sleep was more important than trying to work JA stations on 40 meters at 3 a.m. So I didn't get up till 5 a.m. and I probably missed some juicy stuff. That's the way it goes. Well, a little history. Just about every state in this country hosts what's called a QSO party. And a QSO party is an event where operators in that state activate as many, hopefully all, counties for that state. You probably can't see it very well here, but I've got a California QSO party t-shirt on from last year. Each year they issue a t-shirt, and if you look back in the past on these t-shirts, you'll notice that the colors they choose each year follow the resistor color code. So if you know your resistor color code, you know what is brown. Oh, wow. But you're going to need that for your general test. So you're going to have to study up on that. It goes black for 0, brown for 1, red for 2, and I'm not going to go on. Well, orange for 3, and yellow for 4, and green for 5, and blue for 6, and 7 is violet, and all that stuff. Well, last year was 2021, hence a brown t-shirt. They're $15, so I purchase t-shirts every year. And sometimes when I run remote with NX6T in Southern Cal, I get a free t-shirt. So then I'll have 2 t-shirts for that year. Now, some QSO parties, they don't have enough people in a given state to run their own QSO party, so they do it by call area. In the month of May, the first weekend is the 7th call area QSO party. People in all the states in the 7th call area run a QSO party. That weekend, the New England QSO party happens. All New England states are on. And then there's Indiana and Delaware, which you can never find anybody in those events. I believe, however, that the California QSO party is the granddaddy of them all. We show people how to do it. And as a matter of fact, let's see, I'm going to be sharing a page with you in a moment. For right now, this year is the 57th California QSO party being run. Last year, for the first time, ARCA ran K6QLF, Kilowatt 6, Quebec, London, Foxtrot, in the California QSO party. It took some finagling, I think is the way you say that word. However, Roger and I, with Michael John's help, and some guy, I can never remember his name, but he just sat in the back drinking his brewskis, having fun watching us. We put on an event on the California Historical Radio Society grounds. That was really cool. We set up on the back patio. let me see if I can find us a picture. I think that's probably the place to start today. Let me go back. And well, I'm going to need some glasses here. Small print on laptops, let me tell you. Okay. I recently wrote a blog thinking about the California QSO party. I'm going to share that link in the chat. And then as long as I have allowed to screen share here, I'll put that page up on the screen as well. So there we go. This is the, oh no, that didn't copyright. We'll try it again. Okay, there we go. Control C to capture it. Control V into the chat window. There we go. This is a blog I wrote just a few days ago. Now let me share the screen on that. Oh, it goes here. There we go. And looks like this is the one we want. Okay, so you can see my screen. Confirming CQP. Because we are K6 Quebec London Foxtrot, I finally decided a year ago that no one had ever, other than a cute little graphic, no one had ever created a live graphic for K6QLF. So from, I believe that foot is from last year's California QSO party. And that's my left foot. And it kind of goes along with what we're doing. Now, here is a picture from last year. This is what it looks like. You can see Roger. Roger was the sideband guy last year. The QSO party, if you run CW, the average copy speed is 20 words a minute or faster. So that was a bit tough for Roger, but I'm an old hand at CW. So you can see I was running as well. I had my mask on, even though there was nobody there. It looked like a good photo op to put my mask on, so I did. And you can see the guy in the background there. I can't remember if he was a ham or not, or he wanted to be a ham, but he was just hanging out and he was mildly soused most of the time, but he had a good time. And he learned what CQP was all about. And I'm indebted to the CHRS, the California Historical Radio Society. The downside of our operation there was while we used their off-center fed dipole and then we put up a vertical, the RFI noise from all the equipment in that building just tore us to shreds. So no offense to them, but I couldn't wait for them to go home at 8:30, because when they went home at 8:30, they turned most of the power off and all the RFI noise just went away, poof, just like that. That is a reason why this year that location has not been seen as an alternative. Now I'm looking to find a location for us. I still haven't found one. We have an offer to set up outside of the Elks Lodge in the back. My difficulty with that is security. But what I want to do before I do that is I want to explain what the QSO party is from one point of view. Our goal in California is to activate all 58 counties. And unlike other QSO parties, every year we activate all of our counties. Now you get a state like Texas and they got like 250 counties. Holy moly. So that's pretty tough. But the way you can get around putting a county on the air that is not easily on the air is people create what are called rover stations. A rover station is a mobile setup. And usually what happens is somebody is in the driver's seat and driving, and somebody sits in the back seat with a whole array of equipment and a laptop computer, and they run contacts while the driver drives, and they'll go from county to county to county. And if they park on a county line, then when you make contact with them, they give you both counties. So if we were to, let's say, park on the border of Alameda County and Contra Costa County, and I'm running K6QLF Mobile, I might say WQ6X, your contact number 212. I'm in Alameda County and Contra Costa, ALAM and CCOS. All the counties have 4-letter abbreviations. Some county lines are literally in a square, like the Four Corners states, where you can be in 4 states all at once by being right on the border. A lot of states have 4 and 5 area counties. I can't remember what state QSO party recently, where when I worked a guy, we got 5 counties for one contact. That's cool, because in the QSO parties, you get points for the number of contacts you make. In the California QSO party, you get 3 points for a CW contact and 2 points for a sideband contact. And then you multiply that by the number of counties you get if you're outside of California. In California, we are looking to get all states and Canada. It turns out there is exactly 50 states and 8 provinces in Canada for 58, and there are 58 California counties. So we're both trying to get 58 something. If we're in California, we're trying to get 58 states and provinces. If you're outside of California, we're trying to, they're trying to get all 58 counties. I have done, I don't know if you can see this, but I have done QSO parties from way up here. You ever heard of Modoc County? People go, huh? Modoc, what, where? Yeah, Modoc County. Nobody's ever heard of it. Nobody lives there virtually. It's largely empty land. My friend George, N6GEO, in 2010, 2012, and 2013, we ran expeditions up in Modoc County. We were at the southwest end of Modoc. A group from Bend, Oregon, every year goes up to the northeast end of Modoc County. They have access to a defunct ranger station up there. So they have a real setup. They bring in you'd love this, Donna, they bring in a huge barbecue. Man, they got some of the best food up there. I wish I could go up there just to get the food, but it's another 200-mile drive, so not gonna happen. Every year, they activate Northeast Modoc, and then there's some guy who actually lives there, right? He's right in the middle of the state, and he'll get on and make about 50 contacts or something to make people happy. 2011, we did it different. We ran on a motorboat. George owns a cabin cruiser, and we took it down the Sacramento River. We were 100 yards inside Sacramento County, so that counted as Sacramento County. We took first place for Sacramento County. I've done it from all kinds of different locations. I started by running with W6ML, Whiskey 6 Mexico, London, from Mono County. You know where Mono County is? No. Mono County is where Lake Mammoth is, down on the southeast end of the state, up Highway 395. We did 4 years of that. And then the sunspot cycle declined, and Jim said, way too complicated to organize a multi-operator event during the low sunspot cycle. And as I said, last year, we ran as K6QLF. The goal this year is to run as K6QLF and do another expedition. Now, what I'd like to share with you is a little video that I didn't make. It was made by the contest organizers for the California QSO party. If you want to see the video on your own time, you go to their website. I'm going to put it in the chat room here. CQP.org. That is the California QSO party website. And they decided to make it real easy to get to that video. So I'm going to share that video with us. Let's see here. I got to turn the sound on to do this. So that's an interesting situation. All right. So let's go into share mode. Share sound. Can you see the YouTube screen? Very good. Well, they're going to give us a brief commercial, so we'll put up with that. Can you hear the sound? Good. Now, the sound on this video is important. Some of you may not do you any good, but the background, you know, a lot of times when people make videos, they put music in the background, makes the video more fun. Well, these guys, being dedicated CW operators, they are backgrounding this video with CW. So I'm going to take us up to halfway through this video. If you want to see the rest of it, you can go watch it on your own. The halfway point is where we get showcased. What they did was, when people submitted their logs and their pictures, the web designer for CQP made a composite video of pictures from each of the expeditions that were run last year. An expedition is where you take your equipment someplace else, kind of like field day, basically. An expedition is basically a field day for CQP. And here's some of the expeditions from last year. And I think we talked to many of them. Those are European stations. This station is working Europe in the contest. I've operated from that roof.
There we are.
And there we are. We're right smack dab in the middle of it. We took second place for Alameda County last year.
Right on.
You see, I had a brilliant idea last year. I looked at the scores from previous years, and I realized that the multi-operator single transmitter score, the top all-time score was like real low. And I said, you know what? We can beat that just by showing up. And as a matter of fact, we did beat that all-time low score. Unfortunately, some other guys up on the mountain with better equipment and indoor setup with real toilets and air conditioning and everything else, they creamed us. We got, what was it, 50,000 points. They did 5 times that. So now they have set the all-time high score. I was hoping they would have waited until this year so that we could have at least for 1 year been on the all-time high score list. Didn't happen. Bummer, dude. But we got a second place. And when you consider how we basically faked it, we used the Joe Walsh WB6 ACU School of Management method. Now, a lot of people don't know that Joe Walsh was a ham, WB6 ACU. I heard him one night on 75 meters running his boat anchors. He was on AM. I've never talked to him, but I heard him. He sounded great on AM. Before Joe Walsh joined the Eagles, he ran his own band, the James Gang and Joe Walsh and Barnstorm and a few others. And one day they found out that their management was ripping them off. And Joe said, we needed to fire the guy, but I said, we can't fire the manager because I don't know how to run a band. And somebody said, just make everybody believe that you know what you're doing and they'll follow right in line with you. And that's exactly what he did. Now, Joe Walsh's party years are all our history. People said, you must have had a lot of fun at all those parties back in the 70s. And his reply was, my friends say he did. But he got tired of running the show. The Eagles kicked one of their guitarists out, and he's now been with them forever and ever. and he doesn't have to do all the
The
paperwork and the management work and all that stuff. Well, the Joe Walsh method of management is how you run a CQP. It's how you run a field day. Because basically, each time I've been involved with an expedition setup, be it Modoc County, be it the Sacramento River, be it a cabin up in Tuolumne County, we're starting from scratch, just like field day. That's what makes it so much fun. For people that don't want to go to all the trouble of an expedition, all you got to do is turn on your radio from your home station if you have an HF home station. CQP is an HF only event. Some QSO parties have VHF included for whatever reason. CQP said that was just too much to keep track of. And so it's an HF only contest. CW and sideband only. There is no RIDI. Some QSO parties include RIDI, but we got RIDI this weekend. So play RIDI this weekend and play QSO party next weekend. Now, I'm still looking for a location to put on our K6QLF. If we can't find one, then we'll have to maybe make a better plan for next year, but I haven't given up yet. So I'm open to ideas for a location. As I said, we've been offered the back view of the Elks Lodge, and that could work, but it's require either that we shut down or that somebody is going to be there, whoever that is, at night to protect the equipment. It's equipment security is, of course, the big problem. What they've done this year with CQP, which is brand new, CQP starts at 9 in the morning on Saturday, and it ends at 3 in the afternoon on Sunday. And they've now created a new category called single day events. And the idea is some people say, oh man, I don't want to run all 30 hours. And it's not fair that I have to compete with people that are younger than me and that can run all 30 hours. So they came up with an idea called the single day event. And the idea is that you would start at 9 a.m. on Saturday and end at 9 p.m. on Saturday evening. That would be, they call a day event 12 hours. And then you could start, or you could start early in the morning on Sunday and end up at 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon. To me, that opens an interesting door for people who know how to run remote. You can run live from your station for half the contest and then run remote with the other, your other call sign for the other half of the contest. So you can submit 2 entries. I call it a dual op. Not last year, but the year before, 2 years before, I operated from this location here in Contra Costa County. And then I remoted in to Fallbrook for November X-Ray 6 Tango. They were in San Diego, no, let's see, Oceanside, Fallbrook. Who knows what county that's in? Is that Orange County or San Diego? I don't remember. But I remoted in and helped out and make contacts as well as the location here. Contra Costa County and Alameda County are way low on the most needed county list. Alameda County is number 41 on the most important county list. So yeah, Alameda, but you know, it's amazing how many people did not work Alameda County in the contests in recent years. They say Los Angeles County is number 58, meaning it's the easiest one to get. I don't know where they came up with 58 because the last 5 years, I can rarely find stations in Los Angeles County. Go figure. Now, let me just show you a couple of more things from their website. Let's see, that's here. Okay, I'm going to go back and share the screen one more time. And we'll go here. There we are. Notice that there's all kinds of links down the side of the cqp.org webpage. One of the things is a California county map. So if you don't know what the California counties are, you can't remember them. Well, they put it in color, which I think is really cool. And as you can see, at the top east end of the state is Modoc County, where I've operated before, literally up in the middle of nowhere. We're down in the jumble. Let's see, where's Alameda? Yeah, we're right there. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but we're right there in the middle of it all. And you know, one of the hardest counties to get in California QSO Party is San Francisco. Be interesting to do an expedition to San Francisco. It turns out if you've got a boat, there is a point in the bay, north and a bit east of San Francisco, where 4 counties intersect. And there's a guy who owns an island out there. His island is right on the intersect point. And I understand he doesn't want people running radio contests from his island, but there's no rule that says you can't take a boat out there and do a circle about his island for 30 hours. If he don't like it, he can call the Coast Guard, and the Coast Guard will come on out, and we just say, we're doing an emergency preparedness exercise here, and we're not on his property. I don't know how far his property line extends out into the water, but that would be a way to get each of the 4 counties. I've got a phone call coming here. That's not the time to do that. So the whole idea again of the California QSO Party is to activate counties. Everything you want to know about doing that is on the cqp.org website. I encourage you, one way or another, be involved in CQP. I'm really hoping we can get a club event happening this year. Should that not happen, operate from your home location if you have a radio at home, because there is a Worked All California Counties Award, and people outside of California will be looking for us to put California counties on the air. If you know people that are hams in some of those obscure counties at the top of the state, call them up on the phone and tell them to get on the radio next weekend, because we need them. Everybody needs them. Now, let me open it up for any questions. I'm sure I've left you with a lot of, huh?
So Ron, to confirm, it's HF only, right? No VHF or UHF?
No VHF, not for the California event. That is correct. You can use VHF radios and you can talk to people, but technically they will not count as California QSO Party contacts. And as a reminder, CW contacts are worth 3 points. So if you look at the scores that were on that video, you'll see that most of the operators had way more CW contacts than sideband, because they're worth more points. But sideband is important too, and especially you women, because your voices are very much a needed commodity in a sideband contest. You ladies are our secret weapon. I ran a 10-meter contest by recording my friend Kathy's voice and my ICOM 7000 voice memories. And then I ran the entire contest with her voice. They thought they were talking to a woman. They were talking to me, and they didn't know it. When I screwed up and spoke over the mic, somebody said, "Hey, where's the YL, man? You cheated us." No, I didn't. I cheated, but within the rules. My motto is, when in doubt, cheat, but within the rules. That was within the rules. But it's better to have a woman behind the mic at field day. places I've been, we'll have women wandering around visiting the campsite or whatever, and we'll grab them and say, you need to sit down and make contacts. Well, I wouldn't know what to say. And I'll say, well, all you got to do is say 3 alpha SJV. Can you say that? Say it. 3 alpha SJV. Very good. You'll make a radio operator for us. And in our case, for the QSO party, we send a contact number and the county. So if I'm making contacts, I might say W6QLF, you are contact number 42 in Alameda County, Alpha Lima, Alpha Mexico, ALAM. All the counties have 4-letter abbreviations. If you can't remember what they are, you look it up on the website and have that little page there ready. I still have to look them up. Although in the computer software I use, November 1, Mexico, N1MM, a free program, if you type in the California QSO party, it has a list that it'll bring up of all the counties and how to spell them. So that makes it easy. Other questions?
Ron, I was going to ask you, if you operate at low power, do you get more points for that?
Not more points like field day. Yeah, if you operate at low power, you get a low power multiplier. In
Okay.
CQP, you don't get extra for that, but you when you submit your log, you submit as a low power entry as opposed to a high power entry, or as opposed to a QRP entry. And I almost always run low power entries in CQP because I don't stand a chance competition wise with the high power people. They have big amplifiers and big antennas. I can't beat that, but
Yeah.
I often can beat the low power guys. So I recommend for a QSO party, it's a domestic contest. You don't really need an amplifier unless you want to.
Okay.
Well, okay, then. I'm going to keep working on a location for us. I sent out an email again the other day. I will send out probably a couple more between now and next weekend. I'm open to ideas. I'm open to locations. And the QSO party is another way to become exposed to how HF operating works. Because once you guys pass your general license, congratulations, you now know a lot of book knowledge. Doesn't mean you know how to run a radio on HF. I have a friend, I won't name his name, but he passed the extra class exam and he could barely turn on an HF radio. So that's a whole nother world. That's where a lot of people get their exposure to ham radio from field day and CQP. Sitting next to people that have done it before, it'll rub off on you. It seems intimidating. If you heard the Morse code in the background of that video, there were times when that was K6MR. There were times when he had 5 people calling him all at once. If you might have heard 5 different CW signals all in that moment, and you got to pick them out. At first, it seems intimidating when you're on sideband and 5 voices come at you all at once. You have to pick one out and say, KM6 QEK, you're number 26 in Alameda County. And you just ignore the others. You just have to pick a voice. People say, which one do I do first? Doesn't matter. You're going to hopefully get them all. What I never understood, I'll be in a contest, 5 people will call me. I'll contact one of them, takes about 10 seconds. I'll say QRZ, which means who's next, and nobody's there. Really? 10 seconds ago, 5 people were calling me. I work one guy and the rest of you leave? Where are you going? You have a business appointment in the next 10 seconds? You can't wait around? Some people have the attitude, if I don't get in first, then I don't want to talk to you. Well, then you lose, because now I have to call CQ again, which wastes time. So if you're working a radio contest and a bunch of people call in and you don't get through first time, don't give up. Call in again and again, and eventually you'll be heard and you'll be next. It's patience. It's all about patience. If you go to my website, I'll type the general blog address in. Whoops, that's a .com, isn't it? .blogspot.com. wq6x.blogspot.com is my contest blog. I update it usually several times a week. There's a search engine bar at the top of the website. So if you want to find things that I've written, type in the search engine. If you type in CQP, you'll see some of the blogs I've written about CQP. If you type in field day, you'll see field day. I'm just about ready to post the field day posts for our field day this last summer. It always takes me a while to post field day posts, but the last year is definitely there. So if you type in field day, you'll see last year's events and other things that might be relevant to radio contesting can be found on that blog. The blog shows you the latest 10 blogs that I wrote, and then everything else you can search for. The blogs have links that'll take you to other blogs, and you can end up looking at stuff for hours. It's easy to do. So I don't have anything else to share with you this morning. It's just after 10 o'clock. Unless anybody has any other questions, I'm going to end this part of the presentation. And do I turn the meeting back to Donna? Is that the way we officially do it?
I don't know. I'm a very unofficial person, so.
Oh, well, good. My
Well,
kind of person.
I want to thank you for making that presentation. I especially really enjoyed the video presentation because it really showed me how lovely the state of California is and how wonderful it is to run a ham radio station in other counties other than Alameda. It's
Watch
really
the
beautiful.
second half of the video. There's more scenery to see.
Yeah.
I just stopped it because I didn't want to make the meeting real long. Yeah, so watch the video and see part 2.
Thank you so much, Ron. I really appreciate it. And
I don't know what they're going to do for next year to showcase this year. These guys come up with stuff every year to bring an idea.
It's a really beautiful video.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for calling in today. I appreciate it. And,
Thank
I
you.
look forward to
Thank you,
seeing you
Donna.
guys next week
Thanks,
or
Ron.
next month. Thank
Very
you.
good.
Happy
Nice.
Saturday. Ron.
We'll see you next month. And
Sure.
the board members, I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Good.